We dismiss history at our peril.
Liberty Nation Radio with Mark Angelides.
Are Americans losing their liberty one small slice at a time? Or is it the insanity of the bureaucratic state that is about to drown in its own red tape? Well, we'll be tackling this and a whole lot more in today's edition of Liberty Nation Radio here on the Radio America Network. I'm your host, Mark Angelides. Remember, this show is proudly sponsored by LibertyNation.com, where you can access podcasts, breaking news, analysis, and a range of biting and brilliant shows to whet your appetite for freedom and your fondness for the great American Constitution. And the dust has finally settled after the GOP debate. But what do those numbers show us? How is America reacting to the fallout, as we like to call it? We're joined very fortunately by Lisa K. Donner, the editor-in-chief of LibertyNation.com, proud sponsors of Liberty Nation Radio here on the Radio America Network. Thanks for being here, Lisa.
Good to be here, Mark. A lot going on in August.
There is, right? It's a dog days? I don't think so. I mean, of course, dogs are awesome. So, let's call it dog days for that, because it is an awesome month. There's been so much happening. And I think the arrest of Donald Trump and the GOP debate are a wonderful capping to the month. I think this has been just a fantastic August. What's your take? Well, not so much what's your take on the GOP debates, because you can read that on the pages of LibertyNation.com. What's America's take on the GOP debates?
Well, it was really interesting. When I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, nobody here is clearly the winner, but a lot of people did themselves some good. It's clear that Nikki Haley did herself some good. It's clear that Ramaswamy may have done himself some good, but I do think he had a few drawbacks as well. When it came to DeSantis, he had the most to lose, right? Because he was the front runner on the undercard, I guess you would call it. But it didn't, even though he put in a fine performance, it didn't look like it was his venue, his where he shines the most. But still, he put in a very good performance. It's interesting because I think what this shows you is that people need long form so that they can really get to know the candidates. Didn't you think that it helped getting more than a 12-second soundbite of somebody?
Well, you and I have talked about this. We talk about this all the time. You've got places like Joe Rogan's podcast, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, that they're long-form shows that captivate people. And it's well worthwhile, because how are you really going to persuade the people with any depth or substance if you've got 12 seconds to respond and you've got Chris Christie barking in your ear the whole time? You're just not going to be able to give any substance to it. And, that's why I enjoyed watching the debate, but I felt that we didn't really hear what we needed to hear in terms of how are you going to make the country better. We didn't hear it. We just heard a lot of quips and attempted zingers and trying to be the next meme, or not trying to be the next meme is probably a better way to put it, isn't it?
All right. I sort of take a different approach on this because I'm a long-time television person. I've spent many years in television. And what I think happens during a debate is that it's not really about substance. It's about getting to know these people one-on-one. And that is the key, because everyone's looking at the nonverbal communication. Studies show that 55% of our information that we take in is through our eyes, basically how people talk, what they're saying. And for Ramaswamy, for instance, even for all his bomb throwing, et cetera, I saw a younger man than I had expected, who seemed less experienced and who had a little bit of arrogance about him. Very type A guy, very smart, has a lot going for him. But there was just an edge to him that I thought showed a little bit of immaturity. So I do think that the long form is important. But you're right. I think the reason Joe Rogan and places like that are getting so popular is, what horrible thing would happen if Fox or CNN or CNBC let somebody talk for more than 12 seconds?
Without being challenged, well, they would have to offer profound apologies for, we didn't challenge him on every third word in his fifth sentence. It would be a shame. Now, Lisa, you have your special focus group, which is rather unique and rather exclusive, and I think it covers pretty much the most important demographic in America, in my opinion. and you've been reaching out to them to find out what they thought of the debate. Give us some insights, please.
Well, I thought some of the highlights were absolutely hysterical. One guy, a man from Ohio, was sort of down on the whole group, and he said, Tim Scott is very engaging and likable, but has that Joel Osteen presence about him. And it was very funny because if you
That
know
is funny. Yeah.
Osteen, it does sort of ring true. Also, he's the one that called Chris Christie and he put it in bold italics, the creature from New Jersey. And I think that's the way a lot of people look at Chris Christie on the right, So
on the left, they still look at him as a creature, but they think that he can benefit them. He's he is the very epitome of a useful idiot in communist terms, as in somebody who will help them achieve their bidding through nothing else than his own self-glory. And he doesn't understand that he's being used.
Well, no, I think he wants to be used. That's his goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's his masochistic streak, I'm sure. Who else would become governor of New Jersey, right? Unless you're a masochist.
One thing I've noticed since the debate is that the Ramaswamy DeSantis people are starting to peck at one another.
Yes.
Like we have a trivia quiz every Sunday, just for fun. And we got a reader writing in, Ramaswamy was ahead of DeSantis to begin with. And, people are just starting to peck at each other, because of the polls. And what really happened since how much movement has there been, Mark?
Well, not so much, really. If you look at there really hasn't been a lot. I think the important movement, the only one that really matters, is that since the debates and since the arrest, which is why I think the two are quite intertwined here, the two major polls that have been out at time of recording here have both given Donald Trump a plus figure against Joe Biden in the presidential election. I think that's quite amazing. And I think I've got a theory behind why the debate would give President Trump a bump in the polls against Joe Biden, because neither Joe Biden nor Donald Trump were on the debate stage. And that is that they saw that there's not really that much difference between the leading contenders. I mean, obviously, we can discount Mr. Pence, we can discount Chris Christie, Asa Hutchinson, and good old Doug Burgum. Bless it.
Poor Doug Burgum, let's not forget.
But yeah, so what's happened is you've cut out the ones who are not going to make it the distance, and you've got the others, and there's not that much difference between them. It's either Trump or nothing, but perhaps Trumpism without the Trump. But what's happened is people watched the debate and they thought, well, you've got this, but then you've got Donald Trump, and so you may as well go for Donald Trump. So it's not so much Joe Biden's figures have dropped, it's that Donald Trump's figures have solidified. They firmed up, which is where they weren't before the debate. And so the last two polls, he beats Joe Biden, which is a bit of a turnaround. It's edging down that gap.
Okay, but here's the thing. Nobody's looking at it the way it should have been looked at, which is who made himself look like the best VP candidate.
Yeah.
Because if Trump is where he is, then we're really looking at VP. And, the problem with Ramaswamy is he comes off as too alpha male, I think, for Donald Trump. He needs somebody like a Tim Scott to balance him out, which is, I think, why he probably picked Pence to begin with. And Pence trying to come off as alpha in sort of this pious eminence grise way is just not good. I didn't think it was a good show for Pence.
Well, on that point, it's a point that your husband, senior political analyst of LibertyNation.com, Mr. Tim Donner, who's one of the keenest political. That wasn't for your benefit. I'm sure you remember who he is. One of the keenest political minds, in my opinion, in America today. He points out that because there's only one term left, that perhaps somebody with a bit more fire behind them is the key choice for a VP. And I got this image in my head that if you want to tear something down, you're better off with two gorillas.
Yeah, that's a good point. And he does make a good point on that. I just can't imagine Trump for 4 years with somebody who is, very alpha. And in a lot of ways, Nikki Haley showed that alpha female
very much
to her. but I think she did herself a lot of good. But I don't see her as a number two to Trump. Scott, I think, would make a nice balance. And is there anything really wrong with Scott as a president?
I think a lot of people would agree with you on that one, Lisa. Lisa K. Donna, thanks very much. We'll be back with Lisa after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks, Mark.
We dismiss history at our peril.
Liberty Nation Radio with Mark Angelides.
Don't get caught up in the media madness. Join our movement for free thinking and free speech at libertynation.com. Publishing news and analysis 24/7 with original articles by our team of authors who tell it like it is. Join us each week for online TV shows, The Uprising Podcast, and Liberty Nation Radio. We believe in free thinking and free speech. We are libertynation.com.